Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm.
All right, you're in for a Black Friday treat. We are going to be talking about a bunch of things as well as Amazon product research methods for 2022. My guest today, this is crazy, but it's all true. He has mentored more than $500 million US per year for Amazon sellers. That's crazy. And that's on his Freedom Ticket as well as his Helium 10 Elite Masterminds. He also runs one of the best events that I've ever been to called $1 Billion Seller Summit. And I highly recommend that anybody who is an advanced seller go to the next event, which I believe is in February. Anyways, it is Mr. King. Kevin King is going to be joining us today. But before we get to that, just a quick word from our sponsor. I wanted to give a quick shout out and say thank you to Global Wired Advisors for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Global Wired Advisors is a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business sales process. For more information, please call Chris Schifferling and his team over at globalwiredadvisors.com. There we go. All right, Kelsey, where are you?
Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Black Friday.
I see you're dressed in an appropriate color.
Exactly, as everyone should be today.
Everyone should be, right?
And can't wait to...
Oh, it's an inside joke.
Just wait. Yeah. But yes, welcome everyone. Welcome Mark and Nir, and we have Manny from Germany too. Thanks for joining, everyone. We convinced Kevin to come on today, which is awesome for Black Friday. This is going to be a great show.
There were terms and conditions.
Yeah.
And we did have to supply the green M&Ms, to his house.
Yes, of course. But welcome Red and Jessica Rabbit. So if you're new to the show, we start off by smashing those like buttons, sharing this episode out to your friends and family that are interested in Amazon selling and e-commerce selling. It's good to see everyone. Let us know where you're watching from in the comment section. Also, I want to give a big thank you to everyone who voted for us at the seller poll. For those that haven't heard, we came number 3. We came third. So yeah,
Is that 3? Out of nowhere. When you went like this, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Kelsey count.
But anyways, thank you everyone. We really appreciated it. We got the message from Andy in the Facebook group, and that was great to hear. So thank you so much for the support, everyone. Also, we have a fun little calendar coming out from the Private Label Legion. It has all the Photoshops that you see of Tim and Norm put together into a calendar. We also have 6 brand new photos just for the calendar
that we don't even know about.
Yeah, we don't even know. So go check that out. I'll drop the link in. It's just on the Private Label Legion website. If you go to the shop, you'll see it. So perfect for a little Christmas gift for your Amazon seller friends. And enjoy the episode, everyone.
Okay, so I can't wait. We just did that calendar for sort of a fun thing. We were talking one day and all of a sudden, why don't we take those pictures and put it into a calendar? But, it's quite appropriate that we're talking about calendars because we're talking to the calendar king today, Mr. King. So why don't we sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, enjoy the episode. Mr. King, where are you?
What's up, Norm?
Hey,
you're competing with me. What's this calendar business, man?
Well,
give me a 1-star review to truly knock you down, man. You're going to compete against me.
Yeah, you black hat. You'll get some of our friends to do that.
That's right.
So how you been?
I've been busy, man. Excuse me.
I'm glad the terms and conditions that you coming on have been adhered to.
I blew it, didn't I?
Yeah.
I just rolled out of bed. I had guests over for Thanksgiving dinner here in the States yesterday, and so I was up doing dishes. So in the morning, cleaning everything up.
All right.
Getting ready now. We got to make a change, redecorate the house for Christmas.
So Just in case people don't know who you are, what you do, can you just give us a quick blurb?
Sure. I've been selling stuff online for over 30 years on Amazon since the 2001, actually. Uh, I have several different Amazon businesses. Have some businesses off Amazon. Do training for beginners and advanced people. Run the $1 Billion Seller Summit and partners and product savants with Steve Simonson. So
All
keep
right.
about eight different businesses. I think it is in the all Amazon related. Oh, seven of them are Amazon related. One of them's not.
And, that's an interesting question or a statement, because how do you run 8 different businesses? And, some people are running one business and they're having a really tough time. How do you handle the size of the businesses that you're running as well?
Well, I have I partner smart. So some of them I'm still doing a lot of the work. One of my calendar business. I actually still actually am a guy putting some of the stuff in the boxes sometimes.
I couldn't believe that. When we got together last time, you actually do the packing of those calendars, right?
I'm the guy that I actually go and ship them into Amazon. Like I'm monitoring the levels at Amazon, and I go and I have a big warehouse. Well, not big, but like one of those big, huge private storage kind of places down the edge of town because it's a lot cheaper down there. And I go down like today. I got to go down there and get about 20 boxes and put the little labels on them and take them over to UPS to keep the inventory. So I still do a lot of that. I like that. It gets me out of the chair, gets me change of pace, keeps me in tune with everything. So I mean, if you're teaching this stuff, a lot of people that are teaching this stuff aren't doing it. They're sitting back in a chair and just looking at reports or whatever. And so I like to be the guy pushing the buttons sometimes. And it's a good way. I also do for my own private list. I also do the shipping. So and I have a garage down here. I mean, you've been to my place, and
Yep.
down the fourth floor we have a garage for cars, but I have it set up as a shipping warehouse. So it's got the big bubble machine and a computer set up down there. I have to go down. There's no internet, so I have to use my phone as a hotspot to connect to ShipStation, and then I ship out the calendars myself. And my wife's always start individual customers. And sometimes it's 100 orders. I do it like twice a week. So I'll go down there and and I'm so fast at it. I'll spend about 3 hours, 4 hours, and I can ship out 150 orders, 200 orders. And I listen to podcasts. So it's kind of like my man cave. My wife is always like, just hire someone to do that. I was like, no, it's like a nice break. And I go down, I listen to like I Know This Guy podcast.
Very good.
Caught up on all those. I listen to serious sellers and just mindless work, And then other ones I partner with, like with Helium 10, with the Freedom Ticket and the Helium 10 Elite. I just show up and do my job. They handle all the customer service, all the marketing, all that kind of stuff. And product savants, I'm with Steve. Steve's an expert at finding products and got a whole team in China. So I just have to do my little part. And with my other Amazon businesses, it's the same thing. I partner with people that they handle certain things, and then I handle certain things. So each day I wear different hats.
Right.
But I like
Awesome.
it because I've got multiple revenue streams. And I think someone said I forget who actually said if you don't, most people that are multimillionaires or that are millionaires have multiple revenue streams. So I don't depend on just one thing. So if one thing goes down, if one of my Amazon accounts gets something bad happens, I'm not up a paddle without a creek. I mean, up a creek without a paddle. I'm fine. I got other revenue streams coming in.
Okay, so I'm just going to go down a different rabbit hole right now because I want to make sure I saw the post correctly. And I'm so jealous if this is the truth, and I'm sure it is. Did I read properly that V's birthday was last week and you decided to fly to Lima, Peru to have a bite at a restaurant and flew back?
Yeah, it was my wife's birthday last Friday, a week ago today, and she loves Peruvian food. It's her favorite food, and you get Peruvian food in the U.S. It's just not the same as when you eat it in the country. It's just like Texas barbecue. You go to New York, it says Texas barbecue. That ain't Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
It's So yeah, I said, hey, you want to fly down to Peru to eat? She's like, yeah, sure. You don't have to ask me twice. So we booked a flight. We were there 30 on the ground 36 hours. And so we flew
Fantastic.
in on Friday.
Yeah.
But Lima actually, a lot of people don't realize this. Lima is actually a foodie capital. We're both foodies. We like to eat at top tier restaurants and eat nice food. So Lima has 5 of the top 100 restaurants in the world. So it's not just some third world country, where you're just going and eating some street food. They have some really highly recognized restaurants. Like in the U.S., the French Laundry is one of the top restaurants. There's several in New York and Chicago and a few other places, but um, the number 7 restaurant in the world is actually in Lima. So we had lunch there last Saturday, almost a 4-hour lunch. You just basically just sit down and say it's called the Nikkei experience, and you just sit down and they just serve you. You don't order. We didn't order from a menu. It's just, and I don't eat a lot of fish, but I ate a lot of fish, and it was freaking good. I mean, it was just one thing after another. They had a little thing that looked like an egg that had sausage and some other stuff inside. It just, you take one bite, it's like your eyes roll back in your head. It's just amazing. But
Well,
yeah,
I had something similar because last week I went out and I had the McDonald's experience. It was good.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But the reason I said that, it wasn't just to talk about Lima, Peru, which was really cool, but it's about the customer experience. And we talk about that a lot. You just had an experience. You talk about going out and enjoying these experiences, right? And that's the same with an Amazon seller, or sorry, a Amazon buyer. If you can, show that customer experience, especially if you're trying to build a brand, they're going to keep coming back for more. So especially if you have a recurring product, like it might be, I don't know, it could be a food product, it could be soap, shampoo, stuff like that. But if you can present that higher end or that quality customer experience, not only can you get them coming back, referring friends, but you usually can charge a bit more too, as long as the listing looks good.
That's a good point, Norm. I mean, and it doesn't have to be an experience. It can be taking care of the customer. I mean, for example, in my calendar business, that business actually started out as selling trading cards, like baseball cards.
I didn't know that.
Back 1993, 94, I guess is where that started. It evolved into a calendar business, but our product, as you know, some people may not know, it features pretty women. And so we had back in the mid 90s, there's a big fad, just like Pokemon or anything else, of baseball cards with pretty girls on them, bikini girls and, swimsuit models and whatever. I mean, I think Playboy did it, the strip clubs did it, everybody was getting into it. So that's where it started. And what we would do is there was a magazine that my company kept getting that specialized in collectibles, and we kept getting voted the #1 company. And what we did is when customers bought from us, they bought by mail back then. There wasn't a whole lot of internet. So there was a little bit of internet. About 95, I think we started taking orders online. But we would actually, on our customer list, we would get their birthday, because you're buying supposedly adult stuff or whatever. So you got to be 18. So they'd have to sign something that says they're 18, and we get their birthday. And what we would do is every year we would, these are collectors. So we got into the mind of the customer. What do these guys, mostly guys, what do these guys like? And they like to collect things. They like to have something unique, one of a kind, they're after that chase. And so we created a birthday card where we'd have a girl, with some candles and sexy or whatever. And we would number them. One of, I forget the numbers, 1 of 2,000, 2 of 2,000, 3 of 3,000, special edition. And we would time it so that on usually a day or two before their birthday, this would show up in the mail. And it would just thrill the heck out of them. We did the same thing at Christmas. They got a special Christmas card. It was mounted on a special little case. And, that cost us, I don't know, $10, $20 a customer probably to do that. But it endured those people to us. And some of those people still ordering today from us. I mean, we don't do the cards anymore. We do calendars now, but they're still ordering from us. And it's kind of sad. I recognize a lot of these names. We still get people sending in checks and money orders through the mail. And you see the name. Oh, there's Johnny Smith from Wisconsin. Yep, that's going to be a $200 order every year. There's Alex Jones or whatever his name is from Seattle. And then some years they don't come, and you get the mail, because we also send out a flyer. We send out a something that looks like this, a little postcard in the mail, and sometimes we get these back, and it says deceased
Oh,
from the post office. It's returned to sender, deceased.
yeah.
And it's scary when you recognize the name. Like, this is a guy that's been buying from us for 25 years. Poor guy, he finally met his maker. But that's how you can take a company. That's how this company is still doing. That company still does well. We have a very loyal base of customers because we get into their mind. What do they want, and what can we give them as an experience that's different, that sets us apart, that they appreciate?
Oh, that's great. Now, before we get into the next question, I just wanted to let everybody know that we do have a special giveaway today. Actually, Kelsey doesn't know about the second one yet, but the giveaway today is, since it's Black Friday, it's not 1 month, but it's 2 months free of the Centurion League, which is a $400 value. And then we're going to have a second one. We never discussed this, Kelsey, but again, it's a Black Friday podcast. So let's give away one of the calendars, the new calendars that as soon as they come in, we'll send it. I don't know when it'll go out the door, but we'll also give a coffee mug and a Lunch with Norm t-shirt. So that's that's one full package for the merch, and then there's one full package for the Centurion. So 2 prizes today. One is hashtag Lunch with Norm, and tag 2 people. You'll get an extra ballot. And then the other one is, I don't know, hashtag Kevin King. There we go. And then that one will be all the merch. All right. And the reason I said hashtag Kevin King is I'm limited with my brain capacity today. It's an easy one to say. Kevin, let's talk about what's going on right now with this whole kerfuffle. That's a good word. This kerfuffle with the seller conduct. Like, there's all sorts of buzz going on, in all of these chat rooms about the sky is falling. You want to give some clarity on that?
Yeah, I don't think the sky is falling. Amazon's just trying to close some loopholes. And as most of us know, this whole rebate thing that's been going on for a few years is riding on the edge. I mean, technically rebates have been around for 300 years or whatever the number is, and other people do it, but we all know, wink, wink, what the purpose of this is. And so I think and most of these rebate and search, find, buy is the same as rebate, basically. Call it whatever you want, but most of them have been pretty good at making sure there's not reviews left. And that's been the big thing that Amazon has been against, is don't give something away or give them the money back and then have them leave a review. And so most of the companies that are out there that have been doing that, and the services have tried to, I'm not saying all, but most of them have tried to make sure that doesn't happen and try to abide, skate by that edge. But Amazon, it's become pretty clear to Amazon. I think, they probably did some deep investigations on some of the companies that are a little bit more public about it. And they've decided, hey, look, this is pure manipulation. It's pretty clear to us. And so they've come out and changed the terms of service. First, it showed up in one of the seller forums on Amazon.
Yeah.
And now it's become more official. I think that was a shot across the bow when they posted it in the seller forums, just to get some feedback, to see if they need to tighten up any of the words or clarify anything before they made it more official. That's what I believe. And so now it's been made more official, and it's very specific in what it says in there and what you can and can't do. And it names some stuff. Some of it's not gray. Amazon usually a lot of times has things gray, and so you kind of read into it. But this is like, no, you cannot do this, this, and this. For example, this, and this. Is that going to eliminate it? No, it's still going to happen. It's still going to be, but you're just going to have to be careful. And Amazon knows. I think it was the Ecom Crew podcast I was listening to the other day, about a week ago, and they were talking about something where they said that most people don't realize this, but you can actually write to Amazon and ask them to give you a document. It's like a PDF document or something of your entire search history on Amazon. And it's like, goes back since you ever signed up for an Amazon as a buyer. And so they did a test, and it went back, one of the guys, 10 years or something like that. And so he got this multi-page document showing every single search he's ever done on Amazon, the exact source of that search, the exact everything. Is like, this came from Facebook, came from this post on Facebook. It was like insane detail, he said. So they know. It's just a matter of people and horsepower they know what's going on. We're not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. Sometimes they may choose to look the other way, but with all the FTC stuff that's coming down and all the threats of breaking them up, they're having to at least put on a good face and make some changes. And they do want you to they would rather you spend money on advertising to get positioning than to do all this gamemanship.
And they're rewarding you right now for that too.
Yeah, I think the next thing you're going to see is some changes to the A9 algorithm, where they're saying don't do these, but there's probably going to be some additional changes that occur that make it even harder to rank organically, doing the stuff we did in the past. I think that's coming. And so these changes that they're making, I think you have to make it. But is that the end of the world? No, there's still lots of ways to actually sell your product on Amazon. I mean, as you know, in my calendar business, I don't do any advertising. The only launch that I do is I go out to my customer list and I get about 20 of them to actually go buy the product. And that's mostly because these are old loyal customers that I know will buy all. We have 4 calendars this year on Amazon. They'll buy all 4. So that gets them in the frequently bought together all together. So I get all that cross traffic and cross promotion. And these guys also buy other calendars at the same time usually. So they will go and buy, I don't know, a Sports Illustrated swimsuit calendar or something like that. So that gets me, and the customers who viewed this also viewed that. That's the only thing I do. And today, we'll probably, I don't know what we'll hit today, but we might hit 6 to 10 grand in sales on those calendars just today. The way it's going right now, I was looking a little bit earlier. And so it's still possible to sell. And on highly competitive niches, it's going to be a little bit harder, but I think I haven't tested this. I used to do this actually 5 years ago, and Bradley at Helium 10 and I were talking. I think he did a little test on this, but I'm like, why can't you could go in and just lower your price? If you have a $20 product that you're about to launch, instead of doing a coupon or one of those clippable, either a promotional coupon or the little clippable coupons, why don't you just do the $20, put a strike through and put 99 cents and sell it for 99 cents. And people, I think, as a straight 99 cents, not with a coupon, don't make them go through hoops. It's just straight 99 cents. And yeah, you're going to lose money on every one of those. Your fulfillment cost might be $3 or $4. And your cost of goods might be $3 or $4. You might be going a whole $10 on every single one of those sales. But I think you can gain some. I used to do this and it worked. I have not, like I said, I have not tested it since this change came in place. I haven't launched anything. I'm about to in January. But and then generate those sales. That'll be organic sales. Someone that's doing a search, run ads on it. You're gonna have to run ads to get the visibility up to the top. Do top of search placement, and you're gonna be spending $10 or $15 negative, losing $10 or $15
Right.
on every single sale. But you were doing that anyway if you're using one of these services and paying a search find buy.
You're going to pay way more than that.
In some cases, way more than that. So you're losing that money anyway to do it. So this is natural, it's real, and then slowly raise your price up. And people are like, well, if I do that, I can lose the buy box, I'll lose price, But no, go set your pricing bands in Seller Central. You can go into the back end, and there's a little preferences box, and you click that, and it'll make different columns show up in Seller Central and your Manage FBA inventory page. And then you can set your minimum and maximum price. And as long as you stay within those bands, you won't lose the buy box.
And that's really important. So let's go back to that, because I get a lot of questions about, oh, I lost the buy box. All of a sudden, I tried to bump it up $2. It didn't work. So let's what you just said there was to go back to your inventory page.
Yeah, you go.
Go into inventory, go down, select your product, and set your min max.
Yeah, I can tell. Here, I'll tell you the exact, just so people can. Let me do it on my side as this. So you go into sellercentral.amazon.com.
Yep.
You go in the second from the left tab, manage inventory. It's the top option, and then up in the top right corner, there's something called preferences, and it'll say something like mine right now says 10 columns are hidden. And I click on that preferences a little badge, and then it gives you a column display with some boxes that are checked or unchecked.
Right.
And some of those are your minimum. One's called your minimum price, and one's called your maximum price. Make sure those are checked, and then once those are checked, then it'll you go back to the grid, back to manage inventory and the grid where it shows you available and inbound and estimated fees per unit and your price and all that, and you'll have two more boxes there. It says your minimum price and your maximum price. Fill those in. So if your price is $20 or $19.95, I would put my minimum's $1 or whatever it is, and my maximum is 40 or something. I put a big range, and then as you adjust your price, as long as it's in that range, you're usually going to be okay. And now the only time you will lose the buy box is if you're selling if you raise the price too much and Amazon's doing their searches on Walmart, or they're doing their searches somewhere else and they see that it's cheaper over there, then you could still lose the buy box. If they're cron jobs, they're spiders, catch it. But on Amazon itself, I've never lost the buy box when I've set these. If I don't,
that's a great point.
If I don't set them, I'll lose the buy box sometimes because I think they must use some pricing bands, or they know like most items in this category are in this price. And I've never tested this to put my maximum price at $1,000 when it's a $20 item and see if it. I haven't got that extreme. There might be some sort of fail safe in there that just make sure you don't make a typo, but make sure you set that, and then you can slowly raise your price up. So if you launch a product with no reviews and you do a heavy top of placement PPC, which is all within the Amazon ecosystem, it's what they want you to do. They want you to spend money. And hopefully people will click on your listing. If you get a good listing, even if you don't have reviews, if you're $1.99 and everybody else is $20, most people are going to take a chance. They're like, what's $2? And then get your momentum going. You should have a high conversion rate on your ads, which is going to help you lower your bids and get your ads going, and then slowly raise your price up over some period of time, and you should be fine. So there's still ways. That's why the sky's not falling. There's still other ways to do it, and be successful.
Okay. So
and outside traffic, influencer traffic. That Amazon's like you said, they're rewarding that now, and so that can be another good way to do it. But that's hard for a lot of people. They come on, they do podcasts, they come on and speak in different things, and they say, oh yeah, influencer marketing's great, works well, but there is a science to it. It's just not, it fails for most people. Honestly, most people fail at it
because they're not doing it right.
Exactly, they're not doing it right, or they're not working it correctly, or if you do it right, it can be very, very powerful. But if you do it wrong,
it takes time too, doesn't it, Kevin?
It takes time. Yeah, it takes time, and you got to cultivate relationships. You got to cultivate people, but it can be very effective.
Just before we came on today, my other son Hayden, he's the producer for The People. You won't understand that, but some of these people will. Anyway, we were talking about launching just organically, without doing rebates, without doing anything that could, cause any reason for Amazon to suppress, suspend, or stop you from selling on Amazon whatsoever. And if you just take a look at it, just typical marketing, go in, have a good listing, or do your competition research rate, competitive analysis, go in and put in that proper listing with the images, with the pricing. Pricing is a lot to do with it, like price optimization. Lower your price to get started, or have a digital coupon and take a few points off. Then you get into brand analytics and all that whole suite of products that Amazon allows you to have. And then outside of Amazon, you've got, with the attribution program and with this brand referral program that they have right now, you can save a little bit of money. You can grow your brand and grow. And this takes time too, but your posts and your live will get you a start on your brand community, which you can email through customer experience. There's so many things you can do: gift guides, social media, a good website. Now, you don't have to do this all at once, and I don't want people that are new freaking out when I'm talking about this. You can start, and I don't know if you agree with this, Kevin, or not, but some people, when you start, you might want to just start more of a soft start where you make all your mistakes, you learn, and then you can improve either on the listing or come in with a new product where you can bring in a bit more of what we're talking about today. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think you should start with certain things. Don't try to do everything at once.
Right.
Start with the lowest lying fruit, the easiest thing, and work up from there. And a lot of times that's going to be not the big keywords. That's people do their research and they're like, oh, look at this keyword's 30,000 searches and this one's 10,000. I want to target that. No, you should be targeting the ones that have 100 or 200, and that using the tools like you said, that brand analytics and the Helium 10 tools and stuff that show you how many people have that keyword in their title, and you go make sure you put that keyword that's only got 100 searches in your title, where only one other person has it in their title. You're almost guaranteed to be on page one without any reviews or without a launch. And yeah, you're not going to make very many sales off of that. But if you're pricing it at 99 cents versus a 19.95, you actually the conversion rates on a term that has 100 searches a month are typically, especially if it's a long tail keyword, I mean, 3 or more words in the search term, that's going to usually have a much higher conversion rate. So probably out of those 100 people, maybe 50, 60 of them are buying versus the keyword of, that's 50% of the people that are searching for that are actually buying something off of that search result versus a much more popular keyword that has 30,000 searches. Its conversion might be 2 or 3%.
Right.
It's more sales in the long run, but it's much more competitive and much more difficult. So start small and build up. I think a lot of people are used to the old days of Zon Blast and viral launch and all that stuff, where you could go to page one and within days of launching your product on Amazon and start off and just start crushing it right away. And those days are pretty much over for the most part. You got to work it. It's got to ramp up. It's got to be a 3 to 6 month process to ramp it up. Unless you have a strong customer list, a strong following, a strong brand already, then you can use that internal list and your internal stuff to really kick something off really fast. But if you don't have that, if you're brand new and it's your first product, you're gonna have to have some patience. It's a real business. It's not a get rich quick thing, and that's a mentality that a lot of people have, is that they're so ready to quit their job or support their family or do something, and they're like, I need this to work now. I got to pay rent next month, and that's the wrong way to enter this Amazon business. It needs to be keep working, doing what you're doing, this should be a side hustle, unless you come into it with a lot of money. If you got tons of money and you got a bunch of money saved and you can pay all your family bills and pay everything that you need for 6 months to a year, and you come into it with 50 or 100 grand, then you could have a different strategy. But for the most people, they're taking 5, 10, 15, 20 grand from their life savings and trying to make this work. And you can do that, but it's going to be slower. So don't quit your job. Don't do this on the side until it reaches that point where you can quit.
Right. So before we get into anything else, remember hashtag Wheel of Kelsey, tag 2 people. You'll get 2 months of Centurion League, and our special today as well, a hashtag Kevin King, and you'll get a bunch of bling. Kelsey, can we have a word from our sponsor, please? Thank you, Sellerize, for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Sellerize is your comprehensive solution for your everyday business needs. Everything you need to grow and scale your Amazon business is just one click away. For more information, contact Dima and his team over at Sellerize.com. And remember, Sellerize is with one R. There we go. Now, let's talk a little bit about Black Friday's happening right now. Nothing you can do about it. What about post Black Friday? Do you do anything, or do you have any advice for people after Black Friday's done?
You got Cyber Monday coming up on Monday, which is typically a pretty big day too. But I look at it, Black Friday for me, a lot of people do a lot of special stuff. And I have in the past where I'll run sale, like to my calendar buyers that are off Amazon. I used to run sales, and I was, Black Friday save 20% or whatever. And I did the math on it, and it's not worth it actually. I actually don't do any sales to those people right now at all. I might send a reminder email, but even this year I didn't send anything out because I'm getting so much spam everybody's got a Black Friday sale right now. And I'm like, there's so much clutter.
Yep.
I'm not even going to worry about it. I'll send something out next Wednesday, and when nobody else is sending out their Black Friday BS, I'll send something out next Wednesday or something and say, hey, don't forget to stock up on your calendars or whatever. But I did the math on it, and if just take something simple. Let's say you have 100 customers that are going to buy something. If I run a Black Friday sale and say I'm going to say my average order is $60, like 100 people buy, so that's 6,000, $6,000 potentially, and I give them, let's say, 15% off. So what's that? It's $9. Let's just call it 50. So they end up spending $50. So those 100 people spend $50. That's $5,000 in net sales. Versus if and let's say that because of the sale, I got 10% of the people, and I don't believe it's more than that. 10% of the people that would buy that would not have otherwise bought. So 10% of the people, because I gave them a incentive or they're on a tight budget, they bought because of the sale, the Black Friday sale, that would not have otherwise bought from me. But if all the rest of them, the other 90, would have bought anyway out of the 100, and they would have spent $60, I make $5,400 in gross revenue versus $5,000 in gross revenue. So why do a Black Friday sale? It's pointless. And I have the same philosophy on Amazon. I'm not going to run any kind of discounts on Amazon for Black Friday. The only advantage I can see is, some people like to put graphics or change their listing. Black Friday today, 10% off on Amazon. I think you're cannibalizing yourself in some ways. The only time you're not is if it's highly competitive and someone's going to pick you because your price is lower over somebody else. And that would be the only case. But even then, I'm not sure the work it's worth it to create the graphics, to change your listing. It depends on, if you're going to sell, if you normally sell 100 units a day, and solely because, not because of the increase in traffic that you're going to sell 50% more, but let's say you sell 50% more, another 50 units, because you're offering a discount only, maybe that's worth it to spend the money to do all the graphics and to change everything, and to risk having your listing every time you make a change go through some sort of auditing again from Amazon, like to flag you for something. But if you're going to do that and you're selling 10 units a day, and because you did a Black Friday discount, you put something in your first bullet point, a little graphic, and now today you sell 12, it's not worth it, in my opinion. So I believe that every day from here until December 22nd, 23rd is a Black Friday. Now today the sales typically will be a little bit higher just because a lot of people are at home. A lot of people, it's a mentality in the U.S. to just go do all my shopping. But every day from here till the 23rd is a Black Friday. And then from the 26th of December until about January 10th are also Black Fridays. But sales are way up. I mean, I'm looking at mine today on one of my accounts. Let me see what's it up today. So when I saw someone post, I'm already, let's see, what time is it? So the day is 10, we're 10 hours into the Amazon day right now, California time. And I'm up. I'll be probably double or triple today, a normal day. But from here on out, I'll be at least 150% to 200% over what it was leading up to this. So that's my philosophy on it, is you got to do the math. And, in the past, I would raise my prices. Sometimes I had a makeup mirror that was $19.95 usually. And this time of year, I raised it to $24.95, and then I did a $5 coupon. So I'm back at the same thing. It's a lot of Black Friday is a lot of marketing and a lot of psychology to it, but I don't think it's just do the math on it and see if it makes sense for you. That's what I would.
It's really interesting hearing what you're saying because Tim Jordan, we've talked about this, and exactly what you said. Put your price up, and then take that digital coupon or something that makes it look like there's a special. Again, it just comes down, if you go one extreme to the other, it's got to be believable. So if you're taking a $20 price and raising it up, to 45, and then taking a $5 coupon, and people are smart, they're not going to fall for it. But if you do it, and also going back to just thinking about PPC, a lot of people just blow any profit whatsoever because they're out there just throwing everything against PPC. And one of the things that we do here is we'll only start really going after PPC sales. We won't do anything right now. And we'll start to build it up later on today. And then we'll start to get back to the normal bidding only in the evening. So if people's inventory have run out, then at least we'll have a chance to grab it. So that's something a little bit different than what Amazon tells you what to do, which is, bid high and give us all your money.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna have their own different approach, and I I think it just takes care of itself in most cases. And like the raising price thing, one of the selling and marketing is a lot of psychology. And so if you're 19.95 and you raise it $5 to 24.95 and you put a $5 coupon on it, one of those clippable coupons that basically puts you back at 19.95, some of the people aren't going to actually click the coupons.
Right.
You better make sure that your listing justifies that price. But a lot of people, if your competition's all at 19.95, when they look at that, they're going to look at that. Okay, Norm's product is 19.95. Kevin's product is 24.95, but Kevin's got a $5 coupon, so they're basically the same price. Kevin's product must be better because it sells for more.
Right.
It sells for 24.95. So if I can get the better product at the same price as Norm's, I'll just go ahead and get Kevin's. So that's the logic behind that. But you got to make sure the listing and everything else supports that, the quality of your photos and everything, and your reviews and all that.
So before we get into the listener questions, you got any holiday nuggets for us?
Any holiday nuggets?
Yeah, anything new, anything exciting, any updates? I'll put you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any. No, I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Okay, well, maybe you'll think of something by the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I'd throw you against the wall. Okay, Kels, why don't we go and take a few questions?
All right. So the first question from Manny. I just want to preface this. We are getting lots of questions right now, so
Okay.
don't think we'll be able to get to all of them. It'll be a 2.5-hour podcast if we do that. So if you do have questions, we do have our Facebook group. You can throw the questions over there, and we've got a great group of the community is great over there, and someone will get you that answer, whether it's Norm or another expert in the group. So this one is from Manny. Can I maintain the organic rank for a bestseller if it's a variation runs out of stock and another variation performs nearly as good as the bestseller, like a placeholder?
Each individual variation is going to have its own rank and own organic rank for a bestseller. But yeah, it's going to have it as soon as that bestseller runs out of stock. You're going to start losing rank on it. Even though if you have a variation, the variation can help maintain the listing, help people still find things. But yeah, I think the other variation is not going to be a placeholder for the one that ran out of stock. It'll be a placeholder for your general listing, and keep helping people find your listing, and hopefully you have other variations that they're buying. But it's not going to preserve the one that ran out of stock, if that's what you're asking.
I think that covered it. Yeah.
All right. This one is from Nathan. What measures does Kevin do to protect his IP when dealing with Chinese suppliers?
It depends. Some companies I do nothing. Nothing. Some I actually have them sign an N&N agreement, and if looks like it's going to be very successful, like one of my Apple Watch charging docks, I actually had hired a Chinese lawyer to actually do everything in China. The only true way you can protect yourself is to actually do it in China. It has to be in Chinese, has to be filed in the local district, or kind of like the state or province or whatever. It has to have certain seals and stuff on it. That's the only way to really, truly have a leg to stand on if something goes awry. And I've had problems with suppliers stealing my photos. I don't let the suppliers do any of my packaging. I never send them like, here's my photos, please help me with my packaging. I send them the final product, but I've had them like take pictures off of my box artwork and like put that on Alibaba, showing my product to help sell, their line of stuff. And when that's happened, I've sent them a cease and desist. And if they didn't pull it down immediately, I won't ever do business with them again. But I'm not buttoned up like a company like Apple or somebody would be. But I do some basic stuff. In some cases, I don't do anything.
Right.
Okay. This one is from Brad. Any recommendation for freight forwarders which you use for your Amazon business?
Yeah, I can't give out recommendation. I mean, mine is kind of like Unicargo would be the one that I would probably, recommend. They're not the cheapest, but I've had good experience with them. Some people, occasionally something goes awry and they blame Unicargo, but a lot of times it's not Unicargo's fault. It's something else in the system. You would have that same problem with anybody else, but Unicargo would be the one that I use the most, and I would recommend. I use a couple others, but they're in partnerships with another company, so I can't share those. But Unicargo, UNICARGO.com.
Kelsey, throw that up there after the next question.
Okay, yeah, the link is going up. All right, from Olga, what strategy do you recommend for creating my first product's title? Base it on search volume, and what number? Low competitors or low density score?
Based on low density score, 6 or less without that keyword on that low density score. So that means that if your keyword is vanilla icing, no, that's a bad one. What's a better keyword? Your keyword is Christmas tree topper. So if that's your keywords, Christmas tree topper, you're going to want to do a search and see how many people have the word on page 1 on Amazon, which is typically, like if you use a tool like X-Ray, it's typically about 60 results or so. How many of those 60 people that show up in that first page of X-Ray have the word Christmas tree topper in the exact phrase order in their title? And if it's less than 6, that could be a good keyword to target for your initial launch. If it's greater than 6, it's going to be more competitive. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it necessarily. It just means it's going to be more competitive. So I would look for keywords that convert, that look like they're making some sales, and that are 6 or less people have them in the title. That's what I shoot for. And then I work myself up. So it's not based on keyword search volume. That's an important number. You need to know that for long term. You need to know that search term volume. You need to know how many keywords are related to this product. What are the main? I look for roots as well. So that keyword that you put in there, if you want to get the root in there. So if Christmas tree topper is the root, there's also Christmas tree topper angel, Christmas tree topper Santa Claus, Christmas tree topper LED, artificial tree Christmas tree topper, or whatever. There's that, and so the root is that main 3 words, Christmas tree topper. And the more, you can use brand analytics to filter this too. The more, it's what I do. It's the more times that exact phrase in exact order, not just the keywords, but exact order appears in different keywords in brand analytics, the better that root keyword is. And so those are keywords that I'll be focusing in to put into my title. And if you can find some of those that convert, that have less than 6 people using that in their title, you can often get to page 1 really fast.
Okay.
Okay, this one is from Yajin. Some of my listing has price that says see price in cart. Does that mean I lost the buy box?
Doesn't necessarily mean you lost the buy box, but that probably sounds like you're selling somebody else's product. Maybe that sounds like you're doing wholesale or arbitrage or something. It should not say that if you're private label, it shouldn't say that. That's usually related to MAP pricing, minimum advertised price. So if you're selling someone else's product and they have a minimum advertised price and your price is not that price, it's lower, then that's usually when that'll appear.
Okay. Let me see. From Jessica Rabbit, do you think the U.S. federal consumer protection laws threatening Amazon's operation has influenced its sudden enforcement?
I think it does play a role. Yeah, I think it does play a role. I think it has been influence. Amazon, that's why brand analytics came out. Amazon a few years ago was getting accused of having all this data and proprietary and not sharing it. So they did brand analytics. Now they have the new one, the product opportunity explorer. So they're slowly sharing more of this information. And I think a lot of that is to say, look, hey, we're good guys. We're giving them data. And I think it does have something to do with it.
Have you used the Opportunity Explorer?
I've played with it a little bit. It's pretty incomplete to me. So I've backed off using it right now until they kind of flush it out. It's in beta. So I think it doesn't go real deep, and I'm not finding it to be super accurate on a few things. And, I like some of the aspects where you can see the conversion share for more than just the top 3. You can see Amazon's telling you exact search volume. those are cool, but helium 10 is pretty close to that as it is anyway. And then they have the sales per keyword, but they're not telling you exactly. It's more of a range. It's between 10,000 and 20,000. That's nice, but there's other ways to get that information more precise.
Okay. Yajin, I just noticed, said, no, I'm the brand owner.
So if you're the brand owner, do you have maybe you have a map price in your listing? Did you set a minimum when you set up your listing in Seller Central? Did you set up a minimum advertised price in one of the fields? It's usually in the advanced tab. If you set a price in there and then you're selling it for less than that, that could be causing it.
All right, so just let us know, Yajin. This is from Tony. I think this is one of the last questions, so we went through those quick. From Tony, do I risk getting suppressed if I have been removing my brand name in the front? Hard to say if sales have increased enough to be worth the risk.
Yeah, Amazon, the rule of Amazon says it should be brand name first and then product name and then title. If you can get away without putting the brand name in the far left side of your title, I would do it. I don't know that if you get suppressed on it, if something happens, and just change it, and you should, within 15 minutes, it should be back. It's a slap on the hand. It's not like you're going to lose your account. Or if you're using any kind of Sentinel program, like Norm's talked about, some that he likes, or hitting 10 or whatever, they'll tell you. I know one of the sponsors is Sellerize. They have a tool that does that too, that will notify you almost instantly when something changes on your listing. And so if you're not putting it there and Amazon does decide to suppress it for some reason, just put it back and you should be back up in business really fast. But I recommend leaving it out.
Okay.
If you get away with it. It
Okay,
takes
and
valuable space.
all right, and I think this is the last question from Red. Do you think the cost of selling on Amazon will increase next year for storage and commissions?
Yes.
They've already announced that, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. I don't know about commissions, but storage and fulfillment fees is usually where they increase. The commissions have pretty much stayed pretty consistent over the last several years. It's usually fulfillment fees, storage,
Right.
some of the other add-on fees, labeling fees and that kind of stuff that they modify.
Yeah, from 20 to 30 cents. That's a nice little bump.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that was the last question. Just before we go over to the wheel, are there any things that you can think of, Kevin? Any mistakes that people are making right now that they might not know that they're making?
Any mistakes that
Yeah, something like maybe an
a lot of people
example.
don't know all their numbers. They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know. They know their fulfillment cost, and they don't know. And then they know their Amazon commission, and they know maybe what their factory charged them, but they don't know. They don't really factor in all the little nickels and dimes that get added up by Amazon, including by Amazon. If you ever take a look at one of your reports that comes out every 2 weeks, or every time you take a withdrawal on Amazon, really look at that. There's a lot of extra fees in there for box cutting fees and when you ship your stuff in, if something was not counted right, there's fees. There's all kinds of little things that nickel and dime you. And so I think that's a big one that a lot of people miss that can add up to some real money, especially if you're working on pretty tight margins. That's a major area I think a lot of people aren't really dialed in on.
And there's so many little costs ranging from, the freight costs, packaging costs, insert costs. It could be fulfillment costs. I mean, there's tons of little things that you have to take into consideration. But and you know what? You might miss a few. So have a spreadsheet, have this cost there, and then when you think of it, you can always add it. I'd rather add it later and then know it on the next time I order something, just to make sure that it's there. But if you don't know these numbers, you could be losing. I told you about that huge account that we were looking after, 8-figure account that was actually losing money, but they were selling 8 figures. They were happy about that until they found out, they were losing.
And check and make sure Amazon actually, I mean, measured and weighed your products right too. A lot of
Oh,
times,
yeah.
guys, when the first time I mean, you put it in Seller Central, you'll enter my product weighs, 10 ounces and it's these measurements. Amazon doesn't really go by that. They might display that on your listing, but actually in Seller Central, whenever they first receive a product, they actually measure it. And a lot of times they screw it up. I have a product right now that I have calendars, for example, and I can tell you, I'll just look here and make sure I tell you the exact numbers. It's crazy what they did on these are all calendars. They're all weighed the exact same. There's four different titles, so there's four different graphics, but they all weigh the same. The exact same size, exact same number per box. But on my four, the FBA fee. This is not the 15% commission, just the Amazon FBA fee. One of them is $2.84, which is a little bit low. One of them is $3.64, which is what it should be. Another one is $6.58, and another one is $8.08. That's a huge. They're all the exact same size, the exact same weight, four different SKUs.
Wow.
There's no difference, zero difference in them, not even a millimeter, and that's how bad it is. And so, right now, I'm going to be getting on one of these. Probably, I'm having Amazon correct it. You only have 90 days, I believe it is, to have them correct this. So they will only go back in time 90 days. So if it's been going on for a year, they're not going to refund you for 9 months of the year, only the last 90 days. So as long as you catch it, you can have them reweigh it, and they'll use these there's a term for it, these little red laser lights or something they do, and reclassify it, and they'll refund you the money. But on this one, that's $8.08 when it should be $3.64. That's almost a $5
It's crazy.
per unit difference. And this particular unit calendar will sell probably 10,000 units in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
50K.
So that's 50K right there. So that make sure you're paying attention to that. Don't just take them at their word. That can add up to a lot of real money too.
That's some great advice. Kels, did any other questions come in, and then we'll go to the wheel?
Yeah, yes. Let me see. From Olga. So if density equals 1, but competitors are greater than or less than 70,000, still go with it?
The competitors that are greater than 70,000, that's a meaningless number. If you that means that how many people are indexed for that word. That does not competitors. Competitors, you got to look at the results and go through the first 2, 3, 4, 5 pages maybe and see who is similar to what you're selling. Those are your competitors. A lot of times, other random stuff will show up in there. That's not your competitor. So 70,000, it just means 70,000 people are indexed for that phrase. That's not competitors. So yeah, so if the density is 1, and it says 70,000 competitors, if the density is 1, that means only one person has that keyword in the title. That's probably not going to drive a lot of sales, but it's a start there and string together a bunch of those, and it can add up to real sales.
Okay, very good. All right, Squire, where are you?
All right. Yeah, just one last thing. I think this is a good point that Simon made. One of the biggest things sellers don't do, pay themselves. So do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's a really good book called Profit First for E-commerce. You can buy it on Amazon. I would highly recommend everybody take a look at that book. It's a short read. You can read it in a couple hours. But it actually breaks down and makes some really good recommendations on how you should do your budgeting and how you should put different monies in different brackets. But yeah, you do need to pay yourself. And they say pay yourself first. That means you're going to grow slower, maybe. But the system that they recommend can save your butt in a lot of cases and really help you on your cash flow management.
Yep, 100% agreed. Good point, Simon. Okay, let's get to the wheel, Kels.
All right, here we go. Thank you, everyone who entered, and enjoy.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right, this is for the Wheel of Kelsey. This is the 2 months of Centurion. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right.
Near.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right. Congratulations, Near. And just have to share my other screen now. So if you are the winner today, just please email me k@lunchwithnorm.com and we will get to you. So next one, this is for the little swag bag that we're giving out.
Yep.
Shuffle these up. 3, 2, 1. All right, and the winner is Christina A.
Perfect.
So this is
All
a
right,
YouTuber.
Christina.
So YouTubers, this is important. You need to reach out to us. We can't reach out to you. If we don't hear back within 48 hours of today, we will have to redraw just because we're not sure if you saw it or not. So Christina A., please email us at k@lunchwithnorm.com. And congratulations.
That's just the
Okay.
letter K, not K-A-Y, right? That's just the letter K.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, no, I know. If someone's English is not their first language, they may think it's a name, like that's your DA or something.
Oh, all right. K as the letter K
Yeah.
at
Not
lunchwithnorm.com.
K-A-Y, yeah.
There we go. All right, Mr. King. We will talk to you soon. I hope before
Yeah.
Christmas.
Maybe before Christmas. If not, I'll see you next year.
You absolutely will. I'll have some nice cigars for us, and we'll. No, I can't wait. I said, I mean, I don't. I think you are scheduled in December, but I have to say, thank you so much for being a regular guest on the episode, just dropping all sorts of knowledge, and just being there. You're awesome.
I appreciate it, man. It's always fun to come on here and shoot the breeze with you guys.
All right, Kev. We will talk to you soon.
All
We
right.
will see you later.
Take care, everybody.
All right.
Happy selling.
Thanks. And all right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. On next Monday, I believe, we're going to be having Lauren Petrulio on, and we're going to be talking about taking advantage of Q5. If you don't know what Q5 is, you'll learn more about it. And this is a really great time to sell. And it's just a little area after the holidays where you can pick up a ton of sales. All right. But before we get to Kelsey, last word from our sponsor.
All right.
He's just making me stand here. Thank you, E.co, for sponsoring this episode of Lunch with Norm. Are you looking to take your e-commerce business from local to global? You can with the help of Z and their brand new app. That's right. You can track live shipments with push notifications, get detailed lead times for each stage of your shipment, and store all compliance and VAT reclaim documents in the palm of your hand, all while listening to Lunch with Norm. Ready to expand your e-com empire and take your Amazon FBA business global? Use the link in the description to learn more about Z's new app that's now available on desktop and mobile. That's Z.co, ZEE.co. All right, Kelsey, now you can come back. Or are you just going to make me stand here looking again?
No, I'll come back.
All right.
All right. So again, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who voted for us on the seller poll. We came third in that. So just thank you again. We really appreciate the support. Also, smash those like buttons. If you haven't already, you can join our community, Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. We've got a bunch of fun stuff happening over there. We've got contests. We've got questions. We've got fun little memes we're going on. It's a great place to ask your questions and just be part of the community. We've got a great crew over there, and it's growing every day, so that's great to see. And one other thing, we have the Private Label Legion calendar that we just announced today. So if you ever see those Norm and Tim photos photoshopped of like Lord of the Rings and
the Pilgrims,
there's a couple good
that
ones.
was the one I saw.
Titanic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great ones. So we put those all into a calendar with 6 never before seen images as well. So that's only going to be available if you buy the calendar. So if you visit theprivatelabellegion.com and go to the shop, you'll see everything there. So thank you, everyone. And I apologize. I think I missed some names today. So Simon and Manny, I'll make it up to you guys. I'm not sure how, but I'll maybe throw in an extra couple of votes the next wheel. There's a lot of names happening, and it's crazy when Kevin King is on. So thank you everyone who entered. Really appreciate it. And I think that's it. I think we nailed everything else.
You did. Very good job, Kels. Very good. Okay. So join us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday Eastern Standard Time at noon. And we just wanted, Kelsey already said it, but again, thanks for voting for us. That was kind of unexpected to see that we landed in third. So thank you. And thank you for being part of the community. We really couldn't do this without you. So thank you and enjoy. It's Friday. Oh my gosh. Enjoy your weekend.
Lunch with the